Feature Friday.
The freshest. More by together here.
This is TXT. What the?
They are on the studios of First Take,
Love
and
that.
they're gonna be singing Force, which is the soundtrack for. I love that they have all the information in the description box. I love that. It's for. This is from their Japan first album, their Japanese first album, Still Dreaming,
Force.
with has a hit #1 on Oricon National Weekly Album Rating.
World Trigger, second season.
Ah, right.
World Trigger, second season.
Okay,
And the
cool.
song was written by Motoki Omori from Miss Green Apple.
That's another thing that I would like to highlight. Don't Japanese names are like sound the coolest.
Some of them, yeah.
Like they sound the coolest. Maybe I've been conditioned by my
some
childhood ideas.
Some of them literally sound like they were born to be heroes.
Basically, like, how cool are you? Like, the world has no chance of coolness. None.
Come on. I love these. The first time we're gonna watch any of these lads in such an exposing environment.
No, how exciting!
Difficult environment to perform.
Like, everybody make noise now. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Samuine.
사모이네.
추워?
Are you good?
Yeah, there.
추워?
나도.
좋습니다.
Chosoimita.
하셨네요. 인사드릴까요?
Chosoimita.
Yeah, they're speaking in Korean, bro.
Chosoimita. That means I'm okay, I'm cool. And then Kwanchanayo means fuck off, I'm okay.
No, it just means also you're okay too.
I want to learn the bit. I want to learn a swear
it's
word.
like-
Just in case I'm, walking around Korea and then someone wants to give me a leaflet. It's like, please come try our noodles. Kwanchanayo.
감사합니다.
Piss off.
But you don't.
Because you might get bombarded by them. I don't know. They might think I'm a tourist.
Because you do.
Well, 'cause
look
I am
like
a tourist.
tourist,
Be dressed there. Fucking, I
Okay.
love Korea.
Seoul 101.
So hot. Just walking.
First time in Korea.
Just walking. Bubble tea. Another bubble tea here. A bag that says I love Korea. But I love Korea more in the back.
And like a bunch of like face masks.
And they might try and rip me off, on the street like a street vendor or something.
Okay, can we watch
Yeah,
this?
sorry. Just saying.
No
Can you
problem.
please someone teach me swear words in Korean?
네, 세노, 1, 2, 곤방아, 스모로바이, 토게더 데스. 곤방아, 수빈 데스.
Oh, Soo-Bin, yeah.
곤방아 연준 데스.
Yeon-Jun.
곤방아, 휴니카이 데스.
곤방아 범규 데스.
곤방아, 태연 데스.
아,
네,
네.
또 두 번째 촬영이네요. 저는
It's
이제
the second time recording there.
저는
한 번에
떨립니다.
했는데.
네. 전 떨려요.
어,
프로는 아직까지.
Aww.
저도 좀
Aren't they
떨려요.
freaking cute?
저는 추워서 떨려요.
They're fairly young as well, right?
턱이 걸려도 떨는데.
네, 뭐 그렇습니다.
그거 말고는 아까보다 훨씬 괜찮은데. 그죠?
네, 그래도 잘할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
맞아요.
네.
또 이제 폴스가 월드 트리거 OST랑
월드 트리거.
좀 좋더라고요.
좋아해 주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
네, 많이 좋아요.
Aw, cute.
좋습니다.
네. 준비됐나요?
네, 준비됐습니다.
Wow, they're so nice.
I don't know.
Let's go. Let's go.
Bring the beat in.
Whoa. That's a lot to unpack in like a minute.
The chord progressions are nuts. What is it about? Yeah, it's pedigree of music intricacy. Because
Because
otherwise,
it's
how do you
specifically made, right, for sort of, the Japan fans and sort of.
Absolutely, it is basically just for that. And I think what is interesting though is that there's always high energy packed, like high tempo, strong drumming to it, and it's the chord progressions are intricate and unpredictable. They're all over the place. In comparison to what I have been exposed to my whole life, this is incredibly complex. And to think that this is the music that gets popularized and everybody
Madness.
goes to listen to and it sings along to is actually pretty
I'm
mind-boggling
intrigued.
to me.
I want to see a song evolve.
That also, I just want to say that the rhythmicality of the singing phrases are actually quite intricate too. So they have to be really on top of their game when
Yep.
it comes to timing.
I would be nervous.
I would be nervous too.
But also, don't be nervous. Because you need to be on point.
Because you also need to be relaxed.
Yeah, chill, bro.
And if you're nervous, you're not relaxed.
Take it.
See, those progressions are crazy.
it's really, you know, obviously
Even-
very first take the way they sort of equalize in this, where the vocals on top really emphasized, and then the backing track. They do have layers on, you know, to provide a bit of thickness,
But I
especially
think
because
it comes from the track.
that's that's what I mean. They do have layers on the track,
Yeah.
just layers of the same phrases that they're singing, to provide that maybe perhaps a more
Depth. It's just to provide depth.
thick sound
Yeah.
depth. You know, deeper
But it's
sound.
really not aiding their singing
No, but
whatsoever.
the way it's mixed, that's so rough.
It sounds like one of those demos that you get before you go into the studio, before you do the actual takes that get a
Oh
ton
my
of
god, you're right.
post-production.
Yeah. That's bang on.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
We are bleeders, so it's a trigger.
See, even the entries are so intricate. Sorry, can
Look
I
at
go
his
back?
progression.
Yeah, that was crazy. I love his vocals. It's so cool.
He's very good.
Take it.
Yeah. What is this track?
Oh, nice work by Soo-Bin. Like Tae-Hyun on that, unreal.
Such a difficult piece. My God, what the hell?
He's got such a difficult section.
Yeah. I love his hand gestures. They're great. My God. Down.
Oh my god, I so stressed.
Are you crazy?
お疲れ様でした。はい。
Oh, shit. That is so stressful.
And I love how they just stand there, just like, yeah, we did that. What now?
Those are the pieces that you want to run away from, because
They're
that
so complicated.
is so stressful. As a singer, as a musician, everything, it feels like a song goes on forever.
The production is really freaking nuts, though. I like the changes in the production, in the beat dynamics of it. It's really nice.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's interesting? What I'm noticing, right, with this sort of like OSTs for animes is like, I don't know. Like, for example, that song, I don't know how much I'm gonna repeat that song, right? Because I literally, I put myself in those shoes as performing it.
Yeah.
And I find that stressful.
Yes.
I would be sweating buckets if I'm drumming to that, or if I'm doing anything regarding in that song.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they maintain such calm and ease through it. Obviously, rehearsals and happy days. They're also a very talented bunch, and
Yeah.
this confirms my theory about them, because I seem to have an affinity with their tracks.
Yeah.
TXT is either TXT or ENHYPEN, which I'm very like in this new sort of new generation-esque. TXT a bit older than ENHYPEN. ENHYPEN are basically babies, right?
But they're so great.
But it's kind of new generation. I
Yeah.
seem to have more of an affinity with those group, perhaps more than any other groups that are young. And I like their OSTs. Essentially, I think I like more the OSTs. Those are the ones that I always find myself repeating, TXTs.
Yeah.
But that one, dude, oh my god, I'll be like, please let the lads breathe.
Well, I've seen it from a vocal perspective. The dynamics and the jumps and the complete unpredictability of the track, it works in sections. So, and the sections repeat themselves. They kind of come back often.
Yeah, true.
Now, that's what I've been able to depict so far in all the songs that we've seen in this podcast. We've had, they're musically intricate and incredibly dynamic, and the chord progressions are really unpredictable, but they kind of repeat themselves in sections. So you have...
At least 3 times they end up repeating themselves.
So you have you have to your advantage the accommodation of the ear, so you kind of like acclimate to the changes as the song progresses. But because of the in-between sections between the repetition of the first, say, A sections before the B section, so you have the B sections being so incredibly completely different to what we had been exposed previously, that when the A section comes back in, you have you feel like you've been in a complete roller coaster of sound, as well as of emotion, of course. But they're really high intensity, they're really high, they demand a lot of like energy from the performers, from a musical perspective as from a singing perspective too. I mean, First Take is a vocal focus.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a difficult piece, but it's really cool to see it in TXT's case, for example, because they kind of they've laid out the sections of the work really well between the 5 of them.
Workload, yeah.
Yeah, the workload has been really well spread out. So you have those sections. So as a group, you're learning sections, not a song, and that's easier to approach it. Like, well, that's how I see it.
It's very.
It's a long track as well. It's like 4 minutes and a half.
It became, more and more obvious as it. So, like, Tae-Hyun had very difficult sections, but Yeon-Jun, he had incredibly he was coding the
he was
carrying the tune.
Yeah.
Soo-Bin had very nice sort of melodies and harmonies sections, but
then
essentially
again, they were working in sections. Each member had a section of the song. So when you come together, it's more like piecing a puzzle together rather than having to learn a whole piece.
Ah, look,
it makes sense.
I was gonna ask when he said his name, Hyunin, apologies, Kai, that's his first name, Kai. He's from Hawaii.
He's from Hawaii?
Yeah.
How cool!
Yeah.
Nice.
I thought he was gonna say he was actually Japanese.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he speaks English.
Coolness. I like that.
That's awesome.
They're a great group.